Hey, welcome to your Leo horoscopes for the week ending March 16th, 2024. And we have no planets in Leo this week. Focus continues to be on ideas, on the mind, and how the mind works. The mind is a funny tool. It can be used for good or it can be used for evil, and a lot of times when we're using it for evil, we don't realize that we are using it for evil. And I'm not necessarily talking about thinking bad things about other people. Okay. That is evil. But really, I'm really talking about those thoughts and those ideas being evil towards yourself. Yes. We probably hurt ourselves way more than anybody else has ever hurt us. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that have sustained a lot of trauma in their lives and gone through a lot of really, really horrendous people that were really, really hurtful in our lives. But what we don't realize is how we take that thought process and how we take that attitude towards ourselves from those people and embrace it and continue that pattern for ourselves, even when it seems like we're actually fighting against it. We're actually embracing it. And this is a very common pattern that most people pick up in some way, shape, or form and run with it almost their entire lives and can never realize why they keep finding themselves stuck in the same situation, running and spinning in circles. It's because no matter what kind of ideas come up, no matter how much quote unquote energy that you put into it, your mind is working against you as those little thoughts come in about how you're not going to be able to do this, you're not good enough for this, everybody hates you, blah, 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 blah. So this week, when those thoughts come up, this is a prime opportunity for you to identify just how often those thoughts do come up to screw you up, because you'll probably be surprised to find out just how many times every single day those thoughts do come up. It's very common for literally all of us. We all do it. And the more trauma you sustained in your life, the more likely you are to actually do it. By identifying how many times it comes up, you can actually be able to tell just how often your own self-destructive mind, your insecurities, all of these things are playing into the problem. And by knowing how often it comes up and being able to identify when it comes up, it gives you the ability to put a stop to it when it does come up. You can't retrain your brain not to think that way. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Once it's set, it's set. It doesn't go away. But what you can do is yank yourself out of it. So many people, I hear from so many people all the time. This is how my brain works. It's just how it is. There's no changing it. Baloney. I said the same thing for many, many, many years. But then I realized that when my brain starts speaking to me in a way that says, you're not good enough, you're not worth it, you're never going to make it, you act, yak, 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 I just tell it to shut up. And I'm very rude about it. As rude to my own brain as I would be to any individual that was actually talking to me like that, which also presents a really interesting idea. If we would not allow somebody to talk to us like that, why are we allowing ourselves to talk to ourselves like that? By identifying that this is happening, it gives you the opportunity to put a stop to it. Change the wording that your brain is telling you. If your brain keeps popping up with, you're not good enough for this, stop and say, no, I'm the best person for this. And make your brain keep thinking, I am the best person for this. Even though, yes, it feels weird and it doesn't feel right. And in some cases, it feels egotistical. This is how we boost confidence. And even though we don't like egotistical personalities, there is an element of something good in that personality. It's their ability to change that wording. Obviously, you don't want to go to the other end of that spectrum and become an egomaniac. That's part of the fear and why we justify that it's okay to speak to ourselves like this. It's not okay to speak to ourselves like this. We don't have to act like those personalities in order to be confident. And we want to build up that confidence in order to be successful. It all comes down to that. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link, which is in the description of the video. I'd really appreciate that. Also, check out my website. Lots of fun stuff going on there as well. I'm Melissa Bruce, a heavy metal psychic, and I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, because you're identifying your own mental self-sabotage, I expect that next week, some of those brilliant ideas are going to start to be implemented and turned into something really, really good. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great week, you guys.